In this lesson, we're going to learn how to draw hair in 3/4 view. Some things to keep in mind is that when you're drawing hair in 3/4 view, think about the front view. So if the front view, if the hair is coming down and it's covering the ear, then it's also going to be covering the ear on the side view if you want to be consistent. Now, there are tricks, where you can, like, if you're drawing the 3/4 view and you want to show this part of the face, you can just have the hair coming in as if it's combed behind the ear. But from the front view, you want it to look a little different, and so you don't comb the hair behind the ear. That's something you can do. But if you want to be totally consistent with it, then if the hair is coming behind and covering the ear here, it has to be covering the ear here, covering the ear over here as well. This is the basic hairline, so keep that in mind in 3/4 view. So this right here, that's the basic hairline. So if we want to take, and this is to be the middle of the hairline right here, like that, coming down the middle of the face, and so we're dropping down this way and come over that side. Now if they just had like a kind of flat hair, right, let's draw that first. So flat hair maybe coming down like so, covering the ear just a little bit into a type of ponytail or something like this. So there's a ponytail here, and then the hair is just kind of coming in front right here like so. Now if we're going to draw this on this side, most of this hair, because it's being pulled, is actually going to be going like this, and it's actually going to be on the other side of the head, so we're not actually going to see it. So we're going to see the forehead here, and we're not going to see where the hair goes on that side of the face because it's being foreshortened. And then you'll see some of the hair coming down here, because you got to imagine the ponytail's on the other side, it's turning away from us. And you'll see some of the ponytail coming down right here, like so. Right, so that's just a basic idea. If you think about that and keep that in mind when drawing hair, it makes it much easier when drawing hair. And also it just helps to see someone else draw these different kinds of hairstyles so you have an idea kind of how they look. Now, another one might be, let's say, something like Harley Quinn or something like that, right? So have all the hair still coming up, but now they're like the pigtails here where they're coming off to the side and they're being held together like so. You have hair coming off. I'm going to kind of draw it more comic-y style. Coming down here, say it's covering part of her ear, like this. All this is coming up to that part here. You have the part, you have bangs here, you have a part in the middle of the hair, you have bangs, so maybe her bangs right now is being pulled to the side, behind her ear, or you can even have it to where her bangs are coming down right here and kind of covering part of her face. Same thing with this over here, so it's come down like that though. Right, so that's that front bangs. This is the side part, and it's being parted this way like that, and it's being parted also to the other side over here. Now that's being hidden from us. We can't see where this part is right here. She's turned too far away. It's somewhere right around here. And so you stem from that and you draw the hair coming out, and you have the ponytail, the other pigtail right here, and draw it however long you want to draw the pigtails. And so that would be how I'd go about drawing a hair from that point of view. And then from the front view, you would have it here and it'd be coming out like this, coming to the side, whatever. Right, so that's kind of what we're drawing. Let's do another hairstyle. Let's do a similar kind of pigtail style, but let's kind of go with more, we have more like shorter bangs in the front here. And we're going to deal with that front side. And we already deal with how to draw hair and how to cut it, so I'm keeping those same principles in mind here, but I'm going to see some of her forehead there. But I'm drawing it in the 3/4 view. This is coming back in like that, and that's going to be making some of her hair here and here. All this hair is being pulled up into rubber band here, let's say, and then we can draw it out. Now I'm going to go ahead and move her over here a little bit so we can have more room to draw the right hand side of her hair. Right, so let's go ahead and finish drawing this out. So in this case, I kind of want to have like this kind of really pull these lines out here, really have this kind of exaggerated look here. It's kind of more, leaning a little more toward the kind of anime side of things, or manga, however you wish to think about it as. Right, now we have a couple lines here and here. Now on this side over here, we're actually going to see quite a bit of it, but what's interesting here, we're going to kind of see that shape right there, this kind of shape of the hair as it's pulling out like this, and then you see that side curve, and it's going to curve in like this. Now this is because the hair is coming out quite far now, away from the head on both sides, and that way you can see a lot more of it. So keep that in mind if you're drawing a hairstyle like that. Another one is, from the front view, let's say you kind of have hair, it's kind of coming out like this. You have this style like this. Well, how are you going to see that from the 3/4 view? So what's going to happen is you're going to have this back hair here, and it's going to come out, and it's going to kind of, fluff out like this here a little bit. But over here, you're not really going to see much of it. You might just see a little bit like that. And then the rest of the hair all depends on the style you're giving it, right? So let's say she has some of her, let's say we'll have some of her bangs coming down this way, and we'll have it kind of coming in front of her ear a little bit here, and then it's going to be kind of short like this. So it's like she has this kind of longer front bang here, but the rest of her hair is kind of short, and she has kind of this long hair in the back. And so if you want to represent that here, the same thing, it's going to come like this, and we're not going to see it. It's going to kind of go out of view like that, and then come across like so. We're not going to see the rest of the hair. That's what the hairstyle is going to look like when it's done. You can also do all kinds of things with 3/4 view. Cover the face. Let's say both sides are covering the face. So you have it here, and you have this piece of hair that's coming down. It's covering the face here, covering the eye. All this right here is covering the eye. You have all this hair that's long here. It's all kind of like loose bangs. So you have all these loose bangs on both sides of the hair here. Well, when it comes to this side right here, you're only going to see part of that hair as it comes down like this, maybe another piece here, and that's it. Over here, you're going to see different parts coming down. And then let's say the back of the hair is, let's go like this, kind of go like that. There we go. Give the hair some volume. Let's say that, it can come forward like this, let's say. And it's all coming forward and being brushed. That's the back of the hair, which is kind of a little bit long. She has super short hair. And this is her kind of long bangs here coming forward. And so that's what you're going to end up with, something like that. And you're going to see maybe just a little bit of this long hair here. And if it's coming forward in front of her shoulder, then you can come in front of her shoulder. But if not, it's going behind her shoulder. That's what you can see. But make sure there's that gap here between the hair. Actually, that wasn't even supposed to be a hair there. Just this right here is supposed to be a hair. That right there. So there's a gap, and you can see the side of the forehead here. That's important. So the hair is coming out here, covering part of the forehead, and then the forehead is overshadowing, it's foreshortening, or it's coming in front of the hair as her head's turning. And you can have fun with it. Oftentimes I'll have fun with hair. Let's say I'll start, this is my center of my line here. I'll really come really hard here with this curl, and then pull this down here. This is my big, huge kind of bang, so I kind of get more anime style with it. Maybe have a couple little hairs coming off here, like so. It's all coming out this way. And then I have this other part of the hair, it's going to come and cover the ear, kind of wraps around like this. And then the other hair is coming behind. Maybe it's covering part of her, like that, coming behind her somewhere like this. Now this part here is kind of covering around, it's like being combed this way. Now this side, I can do the same thing, but I have to come out like this. And then I'm seeing part of that, and it's coming down, and then maybe it's being hidden. And then some of this hair is over here like that. Or you can get more creative with it. Maybe wind's blowing it, whatever, you want to kind of show more of it. And sometimes I'll do that. I'll bring this out, and I'll show more of this piece here, and I'll come out with the hair that's here, and I'll kind of do something like this here. This is typically not something you'd see, but if the wind's kind of blowing this up, you kind of want to get that look, and it can just be a coolness factor. So this is how I kind of drew the hair for that picture that we were looking at almost this whole time for the 3/4 view. Right, and there you have it. So there's different types of hair you can draw. You can also draw different types of sexy short hair. Just think about how it looks, and look at references. Definitely look at references. References are really important. So look at people, your friends, ask them to turn, take some pictures from 3/4 view, front view, from side view, to see how hair looks from different views. Keep in mind that if hair is coming to the side of the face in the front view here, you have a piece of hair and it's coming across the eye, then from the 3/4 view, it's going to be covering the eye like that, and you're not going to see the eye. So that's something to keep in mind. unless of course you kind of comb it out of the way. And you can, if you want to show the eyes for whatever reason, just have it combed out of the way. It's not a big deal. We brush her hair out of the way, hair falls back in her face all the time, so the same thing can happen in comics. Alright, so that's it. And for this one, there's no need to have FaceTime for the exercise. Exercise is pretty simple. Draw these hairstyles I just drew with you, and then study some different views, different hairstyles with your friends and things like that. Try to find maybe reference images. Sometimes it's kind of hard to find them. There's some cool like websites out there that are reference websites that have the same model with the same haircut. Everything's the same, and she's just turning around on a platform and while they're taking photos, and so you have like this 360 photos, just like maybe 6 pictures of her from different angles. And that's a good way to look at hair and how it kind of changes, those different hairstyles, how they change when the person's from different angles. So definitely, just for exercise, draw hair from this view. Make sure you're comfortable with drawing hair from the front view first, using that lesson from the front face. Make sure you have that down first, because drawing from 3/4 view is that much more complicated. But once you have the idea of how to like cut the hair, how to shape the hair from the other lesson from the front view, then drawing from the 3/4 view isn't super hard, but you really have to kind of use your mind. If you're drawing from imagination, you kind of use your mind. And that's why I gave you some core hairstyles here to base it off of, because a lot of hair you can base off those core hairstyles. Once you know how to draw those and memorize those, you can change them a little bit to different hairstyles, and it's not too hard to evolve them to other things. Alright, hope you enjoyed, and that's it for this lesson.